Chirone.
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 Why not? Chirone.
We want to live without wars.
Established in 2005, Voices for Creative Nonviolence is an organization dedicated to the nonviolent protesting of U.S. military tactics and occupation in Iraq, Afghanistan, and Pakistan, and more importantly, the protesting of the killing of innocent civilians. Since 2005, Voices has executed several different effective campaigns that all aim for a single demand, asking the U.S. military to withdraw from the war, bring the soldiers back, and bring aid to the Middle Eastern civilians who had been negatively affected by the war. Co-coordinator and two-time Nobel Peace Prize nominee Kathy Kelly has been a crucial activist against U.S. wars for decades. The organization uses the methods and teachings of Gandhi and Dr. King through the use of civil disobedience, cooperation, marches, fasts, and always remaining peaceful. At the International Monetary Fund and the United Nations in 2005, the organization used fasts, like Gandhi, to respond to the economic warfare against Iraq. By the fall of 2005, the war had taken over 100,000 innocent Iraqi civilian lives, and in order to commemorate and remember those 100,000 Iraqi civilians, Voices for Creative Nonviolence and other activists across the world rang bells during their 100,000 Rings campaign. The Occupation Project of 2007 directly sought out the cooperation of U.S. senators and representatives, aiming to persuade these members of Congress to no longer support the funding and occupation of Iraq. Other nonviolent organizations, such as the Declaration of Peace, Veterans for Peace, and Code Pink, also joined this campaign. The 2008 campaign, Seasons of Discontent, a presidential occupation project, also known as Soda Pop, demands full withdrawal of military, but also the funding for reconstruction of Iraq, as well as funding for the common good of the United States, asking the military money to be used for the education system, healthcare system, job creation, as well as rebuilding our inner and rural communities. Through the use of civil disobedience, the 2008 campaign, Witness Against War, began a 450-mile, 2-week march beginning in Chicago, Illinois, ending in St. Paul, Minnesota. The Walk for Peace campaign, established in 2009, actively protests the deployment of the largest number of Wisconsin National Guard members stationed in Fort McCoy, Wisconsin, since World War II. 13 individuals were arrested in their efforts to enter the base to talk with the members of the National Guard. Like the Witness Against War campaign, the Peaceable Assembly campaign of 2010 asks the senators and representatives to actively vote against the funding and occupation of Iraq, Afghanistan, and Pakistan. The Afghani Youth Peace Volunteers and Voices came together in March of 2011 during the Live Without War campaign. They marched with candles lit, hand in hand together, asking for a world without wars. The campaign planted trees in order to commemorate the children who had been lost to the war. And on March 20th, the internet was opened up for peace discussions for youth across the world. This became known as the Global Day of Listening.
Afghan officials say NATO forces in southern Afghanistan bombed a civilian convoy this past week, killing 27 people, including children, and injuring many more.
This year's campaign, At a Global Crossroads, Turn Against War, directly speaks against NATO and its involvement with drones, their mission in Afghanistan, and their financial and diplomatic support of warlords in the National Assembly. In conclusion, the Voices for Creative Nonviolence campaigns that were employed since 2005 have been very effective. We must look inward to ourselves to not only find the nonviolent solution, but also the responsibility we must take and bear for our wrongdoings.